To introduce ourselves, Lifehack's Social Innovation Lab. I know it's a strange term to some of you, but essentially we're focused on making 100% of our young people in Aotearoa flourish by 2050. It's a pretty ballsy claim, so I'm going to try and tell you a little bit how we're actually going to do that. Really, we take an experimental approach because this is a wicked problem. It takes into account a whole bunch of things in society. So we're convening cross-disciplinary teams and the people who are being affected by these problems, bringing them into a room together and starting to work on those problems together. We use design as a container to mash up a whole bunch of things. Social innovation, entrepreneurship. We bring together all these sorts of disciplines where new and unique insights and solutions emerge. We do it with the people who are affected by things because we want to generate human-centered solutions. One of the things that we're really interested in is what's the role of design in the New Zealand context? There's a few things that we're seeing that are kind of unique about New Zealand. So we see this, this beautiful te ao Māori and Pacifica culture that we have. We see inventive, ingenious people here. We see people who want to stay here and not just go and chase dollars overseas. We're an island that's adrift in the Pacific. And we're a volcanic, mountainous, forest-covered land. And we have very, very unique flora and fauna. And it makes it a real privilege to live in this country, as you can tell from my accent. I'm not really around from here. So last year, we basically sought to bring all of these elements into one place to see what would happen if we mixed all of these parts of New Zealand together. And we did that by getting 20 young people from around the country who'd never met one another before and bringing them to Wellington for 5 weeks for a completely immersive, full-time boot camp. We basically created this experience so that we could generate trust between these people and then walk them through a design process, which started to generate new solutions and prototypes of technology that might improve youth well-being. We use these lenses of cultures, of experiences, of strengths they had, of their hobbies, of basically all of their lives that they were bringing to it. We asked them to bring their whole selves. And it started producing some fairly fascinating results. Example, we've got Gemma in the audience, who I just saw, who's working on a program called Beast, which is bringing positive psychology into the lives of young men in the context of their rugby training. We've got an app developed by a guy down on the West Coast, which enables young people to express themselves through the art of hip-hop. We've got some really interesting things emerging from Lifehack at the moment, and we want to keep going. In the last 6 months, basically, since we've tuned into this question of design in the New Zealand context, we've really been watching this question explode. It seems like we're sort of riding on a wave of this discussion that's going around the country at the moment. We've been seeing the design process at Massey University's design school based on a porphyry process. And they've built their whole program around this. We've seen biomimicry challenges launching in New Zealand around the local food system. We've seen people living rurally, creating solutions for people in those places. And really, I guess we see New Zealand as a launch pad for some really interesting new ideas and solutions that are ready to scale to a global level. So just like this conference, just like OSOS, this conversation that we've been convening and our Enspiral whānau, we're pretty excited about what the young people of New Zealand are capable of. So if you're interested in that discussion about, what is design in the New Zealand context, I'd love to speak to you. And likewise, if you have an interest in youth wellbeing or mental health, please come and find me in a bit. Cheers.